Fargo is a hugely popular show based on the Coen brothers' movie of the same name, following a cast of rotating characters whose lives are turned upside down by complex crimes and sweeping conspiracies in the Midwest. The anthology series has centered around many different stories throughout the years. Each season follows a whole new ensemble cast of familiar faces whose characters are thrown into the most darkly hilarious predicaments imaginable, with Fargo Season 5's cast being one of the biggest yet. Unfortunately, it looks like it may be a while before Fargo Season 6 is released, which is a shame seeing as how Fargo finally won its first Emmy this year. In the meantime, there are several other shows that manage to accomplish a very similar style of thrilling storytelling to Fargo with totally different premises to keep audiences entertained. One such series is The Sticky, a new Amazon release that's receiving incredible praise from both critics and audiences alike. The show currently has an approval rating of 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, and centers around a syrup farmer who teams up with an unlikely team of criminals to plot a heist on Quebec's entire supply of maple syrup. Prime Video's The Sticky is a lot like Fargo. Both shows have similar styles of comedy. From the premise alone, there are many similarities between The Sticky and Fargo. The most obvious connection is their offbeat tone, which effortlessly blends crime with comedy in a way that never allows one genre to dominate over the other. Fargo received constant praise for its ability to make a crime thriller so consistently funny without removing the darker side of the narrative, and that's something that The Sticky also manages to do. The plot is eccentric and light-hearted, but the mysteries and heists are genuinely thrilling and compelling. Additionally, in the same way that Fargo tricks the audience into believing it's a true story, The Sticky takes a very similar approach. While it doesn't outright claim to be true in the way that certain seasons of Fargo falsely do, there's a similar atmosphere of true crime that runs throughout the narrative. It feels like the kind of off-the-wall narrative that could have only been birthed from real life, but that's a testament to the show's sharp writing and eccentric sense of humor. The Sticky even takes note of Fargo's cast history. Amazon's new show has many recognizable faces. Another obvious connection between The Sticky and Fargo can be found in both shows' casts, which feature several recognizable faces in fresh, exciting roles. This was something that Fargo has always mastered, taking huge names like Martin Freeman, Frances McDormand, John Hamm, and Jesse Plemons, and giving them characters that are totally unlike anything they've ever played before. The Sticky's first season may not have the same star power as some of Fargo's best episodes, but there are still plenty of familiar faces in the cast. The most obvious is Jamie Lee Curtis, although the show also benefits from many strong performers including Margot Martindale, Mark O'Brien, and Suzanne Clement. Fargo famously includes many dangerous characters and unpredictable figures, and The Sticky is no different. Some of these characters are absolutely wild, and the actors really step into those roles effortlessly. Why The Sticky is a great replacement while waiting for news on Fargo Season 6. The new series came at the perfect time. Chris Diamantopoulos in The Sticky won. Ultimately, The Sticky is a perfect replacement for fans of Fargo while the show's repeated delays keep the sixth season from being released. The two projects are very similar stylistically, but there's enough unpredictability in The Sticky's narrative to give audiences some variety. It's familiar, but it's never repetitive or boring. Several shows have tried to copy Fargo's success in recent years, but these projects often end up feeling uninspired and pedestrian, whereas The Sticky really feels like something new that's merely reminiscent of Fargo rather than copying it. And that's exactly what audiences need between seasons. News about Fargo Season 6 has been slow, but it seems as though the show's upcoming episodes are being held back while FX's other shows are put out first, meaning that its future on the network isn't completely certain. The existence of Fargo Season 6 ultimately hinges on whether or not there's perceived to be enough interest. Therefore, watching The Sticky is a great way for Fargo audiences to prove that they still want that sixth season.